Okay, so I'll tell you a story, and I hope it does to you what it did to me. I found myself in a battlefield, and this time the site wasn't at Zambia, Ukraine, or France. It was more than that. But you see, I wasn't ready for battle. I had no iota of strength to fight or a weapon to fight, not even a regalia for war. But regardless, the atmosphere grew tense and I smelled doom. Just then, from a distance, I could see my opponent approaching, armed to the teeth. How did I get there? In a fierce battle, unprepared, and yet the one I was up against was armed to the teeth, and there was no route for escape lest I quit. How? I wondered, but then I knew that wasn't the time for questions and answers. My life was on the line, and yes, your guess is as good as mine. It was a matter of life and death. Every footstep of this enemy spelled hatred. Before me was the inevitable end I had always dreaded. I tried to shout, but my voice could not go beyond the roof of my mouth. My legs gave way and my heart sunk at the sight of this enemy who with wickedness was drunk, ready to devour every piece of life in me. Please let me live, I pleaded, with my eyes shocked with tears and my heart frozen with fear. And then the monster said to me, I'll let you live only on one condition, and that's if you can give one justifiable reason why you should live. Because in these realms, emotions and desires does not count. You either provide evidence or you lose and the devil mounts. At that point, I went into search. I searched and searched for one good reason to live, but I found none. And even the reasons I thought were good before me were burnt. I had lived a terrible life. I had done drugs, I was given to fornication, pornography, lying, and theft. And in the secrecy of my room, I would coil up in masturbation, romancing self. There was nothing clean in me, that I knew. I was a miserable person, that was no news. And then in my confusion, the monster called my attention. Hey, he said to me, you have just 1 minute to provide a justifiable reason, and I mean it. If at the end of 1 minute you're unable to do so, you're going 6 feet. And your time starts counting now. Tick, tick, tick. Each tick drew me closer to my end point because no reason clicked. Finally, I was going to get what I deserved. I wish I had a second chance so I could make amends. My teeth gnashed in total surrender. I bowed with the weight of my sins, waiting for the last tick. But then, just at the peak of the tick with thick darkness glooming and grave rejoicing about to swallow me, a light shone from that direction, throwing the accuser and I into confusion. What have you come here to do? The accuser screamed with fright, hiding his face away from the light. And then the light spoke, with his voice louder than the sound of many waters. You asked for a reason why this one should leave, and that's why I'm here. Now look at my naked hands and feet, my stabbed side and my head. For this one on the cross of Calvary I bled. My blood is the reason, and my mercy speaks over this one, and henceforth she lives. And then to me the light gave a call. Daughter, arise, for your accuser is gone. He lifted me up, and I realized that indeed my accuser was gone. I broke down in tears, for that was a near miss. My heart paced as I tried to face the light, though my impurities would not allow me. Who are you? I dared to ask. And who is it that sent you on this adventure task? And then the light said to me, I am Jesus. I am love. You are Jesus and you are love? I guess the light could decipher from the expression on my face. Then I was confused on this massive show of grace. As far as I was concerned, I was unworthy of love, and I wondered why he couldn't discern. And by the way, that wasn't the dimension of love I knew. The kind of love I knew was the tie between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. The kind that led me to the street and stripped me up of everything that made me a woman until there was no me. The kind of love that was built on the seed. That was the only kind of love I knew. Then he said to me, daughter, I bring to you a different dimension of love. This one is the pure kind of love. But while you were yet a sinner, I died for you. I died for your sins. This is what love can do. This is the dimension of love that justifies the unjust and qualifies the called. This kind of love is patient and kind. It is the kind that grants pardon to the condemned, making the convicted to become acquitted. For it takes no record of wrongs and gives eternal life to all who believes, making them sons. It was this same dimension of love that tore the curtain of the temple from top to bottom, judging the partition between us and God, so now we can come. You see, that day I accepted that dimension of love. And since then, it's been beautiful. It brought me from a place of rejection to a place of priesthood. It changed my identity from a daughter of the night to a considerate of light, to reflect His glory. And here is the climax of my story, that I, who was formerly enmarked in sin, have been transformed, and now I'm a reflection of the glory of the Holy One.